Hey everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Today started out crisp, but at least the sun was shining. Boy, a whole different deal late this afternoon. It turned gloomy in a hurry, and the dreary weather is with us this evening and into the overnight hours as well. Let's actually start with our local radar this evening. As of about 6:45, we have some light rain, some wet snowflakes mixed in, and this is all pretty non-impactful for the time being. Earlier on this evening, we actually had a few lightning strikes out towards I-71. I don't want to totally rule out a clap of thunder this evening, but it's a pretty small chance. I think as we head into the late evening hours, we're going to see enough cold air that raindrops will fade away, and we'll see not a whole lot more than flurries and snow showers overnight. We're not registering a gust here in the 6 o'clock hour at the Youngstown Warren Airport, but it has been blustery over the last few hours out towards Akron-Canton Airport. The winds are gusting to about 30 right now. As I mentioned, we'll see the rain showers go away and some flurries, some snow showers overnight. Now, in the grand scheme of things, for most places, this will be pretty non-impactful, but I don't want to rule out overnight there being a few snow showers, especially later on, that whiten the ground in some spots. Here's just one run of one model, and usually I shy away from showing model snowfall totals down to a tenth of an inch because models just aren't that good. In fact, human forecasters aren't that good to predict that there's going to be zero point 0.6 here and 0.8 there and that sort of thing. But I'm going to show this just for simplicity's sake tonight. Don't take these numbers literally, but you get the idea. Enough snow to maybe whiten the ground in some spots. I don't want to even rule out someone trying to get an inch worth of snow. If your location gets under a band for a little while later on tonight, best chance for that, I think, will be across Trumbull and Mercer counties. All right, we're going to squeeze in a pretty benign day on Thursday now. The clouds may bubble back up in the afternoon. I can't even rule out a sprinkle or a flurry for Thursday afternoon. Now let's focus on kind of the big ticket item. This is the snow that's coming our way Friday. Now we're not in the dead of winter anymore. We're in fact into mid-April. And when snow falls during the day in mid-April, even if it snows at a pretty good clip, it's going to have a hard time sticking to a lot of paved surfaces. So I think the roads are going to be mostly fine with this on Friday, but I think it's going to snow for at least a handful of hours in most locations. So we get into the afternoon. This may mix with, even change to rain in some spots. Best chance for the mixing and the changeover will be south of I-80 and especially south of 224. And in fact, once you're down towards Wheeling, Steubenville, Pittsburgh, this probably just becomes just a rainy afternoon with temperatures in the mid-40s. But for us, we're close enough to that dividing line that, again, especially in our northern areas, up into areas north of I-80, this is just going to be snow for a handful of hours on Friday. Then things will quiet down, although it's going to be a chilly start to the weekend. Here's a look at our model spread for the Vienna area in Trumbull County. The NAM is not really playing ball right now. It is showing a very quick changeover to rain, which is an outlier at this point. Other models have these ideas of about maybe 2 inches worth of snow for areas around the latitude of the Youngstown Warren Airport. So you could throw in this same boat probably Newton Falls, Warren, Cortland, Sharon, Greenville, heading over towards Mercer as well. Kind of in that zone, kind of the northern tier of our viewing area. Amounts are probably a little bit lower as you go off to the south into Mahoning County, and probably even lower once you're down into Columbiana County. In fact, I thought I was done drawing snow maps for the year, but probably for the last time this season, I did draw a snow map. Now, there could be 3 or 4 or even 5 inches of snow once you're far enough east on I-80 in the very hilly terrain out towards Du Bois and Clearfield and closer to State College Bellefonte in central PA. But for us, this is going to be pretty modest. It's pretty notable, though, that it's mid-April and we're talking about enough snow to measure. And yeah, I think a slushy inch or 2 is going to be pretty likely in a lot of Trumbull and Mercer counties. Might be hard-pressed to see much more than 1 once you're down into a lot of Mahoning County. And where that changeover and mixing occurs, the farther south you are, it's probably less than an inch washed away by rain, especially once you're down towards Lisbon and Rogers and East Palestine and certainly down towards the river in East Liverpool. You'll be lucky to squeeze out a slushy half an inch to an inch before it gets washed away by rain on Friday. So again, this time of the year, snow during the day means roads are generally fine. A little slush here and there, especially when this first comes in around 8 in the morning and the sun's not very high in the sky yet. This could stick to some surfaces, sidewalks, secondary roads especially, but that sticking on paved surfaces probably does not last very long. Once we're towards midday, even though it's still going to be snowing in a lot of spots, that incoming solar radiation is going to, really prevent, and temperatures in the mid 30s, really going to prevent a whole lot of problems on the roads. I touched on the sun angle issue last evening, but here's another way of looking at it. Back in the dead of winter, when the sun is not getting very far above the horizon, even when you see a sunny day after a snowstorm, not much snow melts, even if temperatures are close to freezing. But at this time of the year, even a cloudy sky means that snow just doesn't stand much of a chance for sticking around very long, and I think we're going to see sunshine Saturday. And so this snow will be a distant memory by midday and afternoon on Saturday, thanks to that April sun angle. Temperatures, yikes. Not very nice the next couple of days. Marginally better Saturday. And then next week, I think next week we start to get into a pattern that is not exactly warm, but closer to average anyway, with temperatures getting into the 50s for next week. And I think, as I touched on last evening on Weather for Weather Geeks, we've got some 60s in our future during that last week of April. It looks like a more favorable pattern for what we'd expect in late April. That means highs in the lower 60s. That's par for the course in late April, and I think the pattern will favor some of that in 9-10 days. Until then, 70s are off the table, and we're going to see a lot of temperatures in the 40s and 50s for daytime highs. All right, that will do it for me on this Wednesday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11 p.m.